Stop me if you've heard this one before. People will do business with those that they like, know, and trust. Sounds great, but what does that actually mean, and how do you get there? In this video, we're going to discuss realistic and practical ways that you as a business owner or a salesperson can establish yourself in the minds of your buyers as somebody that they like, know, and trust.
How are you, Nick? This is Gary Busey. I want to give you a definition of who and what and how you are. You are a wonderful experience showing others magnificent energy, and that spells awesome. How does it feel to be awesome? Because you are. You can't deny it. That's who you are. You know what's good about being awesome is you give others feelings that you care for them. And that's a great thing to be. When you're awesome, people will be drawn to you because you have fun, you're a leader, and you accept others' feelings first. It's a great place to be. Nick Ayers, I love you. And I'm so proud of you for being who you are with what you've been given. And that's a fact. Awesome you are.
Have you ever built a home with your hands? I'm talking a legitimate house. Yeah, me neither. And while you and I have never built a house, I think it's safe to assume that you wouldn't use just one single tool in building that house. In fact, it's going to take an assortment of many different tools in order to properly construct a house from the ground up. The same is true with your business content strategy. And when I say content strategy, I'm not just talking about blog posts or videos or social media posts. Those are all really key components and important ingredients to a content strategy. But the number one way that your prospects are going to turn into clients and they're going to like you, they're going to know you, and they're going to trust you is with content, is with putting information out there. Now, the whole reason for this rant is because a couple weeks ago, I actually got into a discussion with somebody on Twitter about this. And the whole notion of insurance, and that's a vertical I'm very familiar with, insurance being solely, advertised as a commodity, as a price thing. You turn on the commercials, you turn on TV, and everything is about price, savings, cost. And that is looked down upon within the insurance industry by many insurance agents who look at that and they feel it's just a cheapening of the product. It's just a commoditization of insurance in general and their services and what they provide. The discussion was basically centered around the idea that there's too much content out there, that customers don't care about this content, that it doesn't meet any real needs, and it's just kind of noise in the marketplace. The idea is that people don't go online to discuss insurance, to look for insurance, to which there's a lot of just factual data out there that says that that's not true. In fact, insurance is the number one advertised and the most expensive keyword on Google Ads. It's the number one most competitive and therefore the most expensive. And the reason why it's number one and the reason why it's the most expensive is because of demand. There's a ton of demand around insurance information online. In fact, there are over 2.3 million searches every single month across all 50 states pertaining to the keyword insurance. How much does insurance cost? How do I save money on insurance? And so on and so forth. And when I brought this as a kind of antidote to my argument, a lot of people were thinking, well, yeah, that's the bastardization of insurance. It's all about price, 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 price. Well, yeah, that's exactly what customers want. It's not what you and I want as insurance agents. It's what customers want. It's what they're searching for. And if you can answer that question, then you have a foothold with a content strategy. The number one principle that you should establish in your content strategy is answering the question, what does my customer want? What is it that's gonna get me in the door so they know me? What's gonna get me in the door so they see me? What is going to get their attention? Love them or hate them, Geico, Progressive, these companies that you see online, they do a great job of promoting the price game. And as a result, customers have bought into that for years because it's been consistent, because it's been something that they see all the time and it gets their attention. It meets a need in the customer. So we're actually gonna go to my whiteboard here. I'm gonna draw out some schematics, some things that you should look at for a formula when developing your content strategy. Where does price have a role, or where does the commoditization of your product have a role? Where does the authority authority building trust factor come in, and how do you get your customers to see you all of the time? Now we're here at the whiteboard, and I actually want to break down real fundamental ways that you can establish this like, know, and trust factor within your prospects, because it is important. But we hear this phrase, like, know, and trust, and we don't know how to actually do it. We don't know what it means. We shake our head in agreement because it sounds really nice, and it sounds cute, and it sounds clever, and we agree with it, but we don't know how to actually achieve it. Now, we've already kind of established that the number one way that you're going to get there, broadly speaking, is with content. You need content that establishes who you are, what you do, and how people are trusting you. So content is often thought of as, we need blog articles, we need videos, we need social media posts, and all of that's true. You need all of that stuff. And if you're really good at writing, I suggest doing a lot of blogs. If you're really good with the creative aspect of things, you should be doing video. Now, I would say, and I would argue that you need video regardless, but that's a different rant for a different time. And, if you're really, personable, you're really influential, social media post is another great thing to do. When you can combine all of that, that's important. Now, we explained, on the insurance side, a lot of people get upset with the price jockeying that insurance companies do. And I just kind of want to use them as an example. You see, when your content is built upon a foundation of and this is going to be me building a foundation. When your content is built, actually it's not even in the screen here, so let's go over here. It's built on this premise that we have what they want. This is our consumers, what they want, and what they'll understand. What they want and what they'll understand is the first piece of content that you should be thinking about. And with insurance, it's usually cost. We think about this, insurance customers want to save as much money as possible. They want to cut their bill. They look at insurance as a way, something that they just have to have. So how can I get it for the lowest price possible? This is what they want. And insurance companies do a really good job of putting this out there first. And so for you as a business owner, as a salesperson, look at your customers, look at your market, look at everything that you're hearing, and think about what is it that they want. And then put out content that's relative to that. Cost is a good thing. Another, one that is popular is status. Status is something that people want in every phase of the game. So how can I address that status? Mercedes-Benz, BMW, they never talk about cost because they know that's not really what their customers are really wanting. It's a part of their marketing, but it's not the central point of their marketing. They're addressing the status play. That is what their customers want. It could be security. And that could be another important thing. That is what people want. So if you're selling alarm systems, if you're selling, firearms, if you're selling all these things, that is what they want. They want security. And so for you as a business owner, you have to address this. Number one, what they want. And I'll also say this is, I'll add an addition here, what they understand. What they want and what they understand. If you can combine that in the initial marketing phase of your content, you're going to be successful. Because if you combine what they want, cost, with what they understand, they do that. If you look at a State Farm commercial or a Geico commercial, there's a lot of use of comedy. That is what they understand, and that's their entryway. That's their foothold into the like, know, trust factor. And so, what I see a lot of people doing is they, in the insurance space, is they will come out with content that is not what people are wanting, and it's not what they understand. They'll make a content piece on umbrella insurance, and they'll do a content piece on inland marine insurance. And I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. It is important to do those things, but if that's your initial step into the marketplace, into the prospect's mind, that's going to be troublesome. That's why your content doesn't get a lot of engagement. That's why your content isn't getting a lot of traction, because it's not what they want and it's not what they understand. But if you can build upon that layer of what they want, what they understand, with those content pieces to build authority, that is going to be your thing. So, if you're an insurance agent, maybe it's a cost message. I know that's a lot of people are probably watching this who are insurance agents and they're thinking, oh, boo, hiss. But it's important. Why? Because of this. Because it's what they want. Then you've got their attention. Then you can build upon content. This should more be like an arrow. You could build upon content that builds authority. Authority means a lot of different things. It could be, let me write this out so that we know that it's official. Authority. And that can look like, if I can fit it in the box here, product knowledge, right? I won't be crude. If we were off camera, I'd be crude. But just display some authority. Display that you know what you're talking about. And that can be done with product knowledge. Another great way is with testimonials. Right? People want to see proof. You build content that way where you've already got a foot in the door. You've talked about the cost, right? That could be the offer if you're a marketer, right? That's what they want. That solves the problem. The authority piece is where you can lay down, some ideas that you have or things that are maybe people agree with, maybe they don't agree with, but it's something that is, establishing you as the resource for that particular thing that they want. And this, this is what you want to build upon. You want to look at it in layers. The other things that you want to do is you want to build content that is relatable. Now, I don't think I spelled relatable right, but who cares? It's scribbled enough. You won't understand it either ways. So you want to build content that is relatable to the prospect. And this can be done through a lot of different things. It can be done through affinity. So that could be something that, and this also plays into the authority factor. The affinity is where you are building connections with them based on similar interests, similar connections. So it could be done something as trivial as sports or as complex as politics or religion. Right? You're building affinity with your market. You're being relatable. Another great way of doing this is showing personal stuff, right? I'm just gonna say personal stuff. Personal stuff is another great way to get people to like, know, and trust you because they can build a connection with you and your content resonates with them. This can be done, and I don't do this intentionally, but it's just kind of been a byproduct of it. I do this a lot with showing my personal life behind the scenes of business. If you follow me on social media, you'll see lots of pictures of my kids. You'll see us do weird and wacky things sometimes. That is just because I'm a real person. I'm a real human being, and people want to do business with people who are real human beings. So show them real human beings. What always happens, I see in the insurance world, is, if I have enough space, I'll put it over here, is everything is suit and tie. And what I mean suit and tie is nobody ever lets their hair down. Nobody ever lets their hair down. I'm not saying suit and tie and that's just what you wear and that's how you feel professional. I can give a rip about that. But it's nobody lets people in to see who they actually are. The great separator that you're going to have between the big companies and you as a small business is this right here. Because everybody can play this game. Everybody can play the cost game. Let me move this down a little bit so you can see it. Everybody can play the cost game, right? Everybody can play the what they want game, but very few, right? This is what's going to separate you from everybody else is the authority and the personal relatable factors that you have as a human being. And the thing about your personal relatable factor is you're going to have a lot of people that hate you. And maybe hate's a strong word, but you can get a lot of people that don't connect with you. You're going to swing on this and you're going to miss probably more than you hit. Right? It's like a pitch is coming down it's coming across the mound and coming across the plate, and you're not going to hit every ball. And you've got to be okay with that. But personable, relatable content, like as an example, if I'm showing a bunch of stuff of my family, or I'm showing a bunch of stuff where I'm showcasing kind of my 7th grade humor, that's funny to me. That's entertaining to me. But it's not to everybody else. And I'm okay with it not being relatable to everybody else because I want to do business with those that I also like, know, and trust. And so it's a two-way street. So this can work. Another great thing that you should put in your content is entertainment. How can I entertain them? And really, there's no real, if I had to say this is really an interchangeable one. This can almost go here, and it can also go here. You need to entertain your audience. Why is entertainment, especially in a digital world, so important? Because most people, they look at content platforms, so Facebook or BuzzFeed or Twitter or Reddit or whatever it is, like all these content platforms, and the real reason why they're there is for the dopamine drop. They want to be entertained. So if you want to get people to like, know, and trust you, you need to entertain them. And entertainment can look like a variety of different things. It could be humor. It could be controversy, right? It could be how do you what I call the pitchfork and the pitchfork and torch. I don't think I spelled torch right. Maybe I did. But how can I entertain people? Humor, controversy, and the pitchfork and torch is a great thing. When I say pitchfork and torch, I mean, how do I rally people behind something? How do we go after a boogeyman? How do we go after a Frankenstein monster? Right? That is a great way to entertain people. And that's going to be how you get people to like, know, and trust you. It's going to turn a lot of people off, but those people were likely never going to be your prospects anyway. They were never going to buy anything to begin with. But entertainment is a fantastic way to get a foothold in the door, to really kind of bust that door wide open so that people like, know, and trust you. Because if they see that you're a personable, relatable person, if they see that you have authority in your niche or in your product, and they are already knowing that they're going to get what they want from you, then that is a great way to build like, know, and trust within your prospects. So next time somebody says, like, know, and trust, just think about it in these ways, that you need a content strategy in order to get people there. You need to give people what they want in a way that they will understand it. So don't make your first content pieces about, the 18 different ways that they can get inland marine insurance, because they don't care about that and they don't understand it. It doesn't address the idea of security. It doesn't address the idea of cost, which is what they probably really want, and it doesn't address the idea of status. So form and frame your content around these three things: security, cost, status. If you look at big companies and what they do, they always start with this. You always see this as the first thing, right? I should say you really see this as the first thing, because they know they only have 30 seconds in a TV spot or a radio commercial to deliver this. It's giving you what they want. There's plenty of time on the back end to give them this stuff. The authority, the content pieces, the things that you need. You need to have those things. Those are foundational to getting people to like, know, and trust you. Is the content, the 17 different ways that you can save on your glass deductible. Like those are important, because people are not necessarily going to read them. They're not going to engage with them, but just seeing them is going to establish the fact that you are smart, that you are intelligent, that you are somebody that they want to do. That's the guru factor. That's something that you want your customers to feel and to have, that you are authoritative, that you are intelligent, that you know what you're talking about. You know how to get results for people. You know the secret ingredients to Colonel Sanders', chicken recipe. That's important. And a great way to also establish authority is with testimonials. Then you need relatable, personable content, and you need entertainment. Without entertainment, that you're not going to get very far, because entertainment is really the glue that makes all of this work. As always, if you enjoyed this content, or maybe if you hated this content, comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if this is something that resonates with you. Let me know if this is something that just disgusts you. All engagement is good engagement. Ask questions. I will answer however I can, in the best way that I can. Do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out. Like the video, comment. We can't wait to deliver more of this so that you can like, know, and trust us. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day.